And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight the best.
Following contentious discussions about the winner, Floyd Mayweather has warned Crawford. Floyd has stated clearly that this warning serves as a reminder not to chase after unattainable goals. He claims that Crawford may be pursuing a ghost because the sports-dominant Mayweather retired with his own terms intact and wasn't going to allow anyone to change that book.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd explained to Smith that boxing is more than just a contest of strength. When it counted, it was about who was in charge of the stage. According to Floyd, it is also too late for Crawford, who is now in his mid-30s, to request a bout that might have been made when it would have attracted the greatest amount of people.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
That message was delivered during a contentious debate on Stephen A. Smith's platform, in which Floyd and Crawford engaged in a rare back and forth that the boxing community quickly focus on. Despite his composure, Mayweather's statements carried a lot of weight. In essence, he said to Crawford, "You can win anything you choose. Even if you defeat the men I've never faced, you won't change my past." By pointing the finger at Crawford for showing up too late to dance with him in the ring, Floyd maintained the focus on his own time.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they got to hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
However, this goes beyond two combatants ignoring one another. It concerns the current alignment of supporters, combatants, and commentators on both sides of the debate. Ryan Garcia and other current fighters have joined the conversation, adding to it. In a recent appearance on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring, Garcia, who has never held back when expressing his opinions, had some scathing things to say about Mayweather. Former NFL running back LaShawn McCoy claimed that Floyd Mayweather was the only person who had altered the game. Garcia interrupted, saying, in a bad way, Garcia has made the unflattering claim that Floyd was a master of timing, as well as punching within the ropes. He said Floyd waited till names like Pacquiao or Cato were past their prime and only engaged in combat when it was convenient for him. In his peak, he never engaged in combat with anyone. Garcia stated, prime after junior lightweight, arguing that Floyd's flawless performance resulted more from flawless matching than flawless combat. And for Garcia, boxing took a terrible turn at that point as, following Floyd, everyone prioritized defending the above going after the hardest battles.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch.
Max Kellerman has offered his own perspective in this regard. One of the most astute voices in boxing media, Kellerman explained why, depending on your point of view, Crawford might potentially have a stronger case for legacy than Floyd. According to Kellerman, Floyd was picky about who he fought, particularly after he left lightweight. People remember that he didn't want to be with certain guys at particular periods, even though his resume is more detailed with names. As we all saw, Crawford wanted it with everyone the entire time, despite the resume's shortcomings. People are affected by that.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same.
And that is the issue of contention. Resume versus purpose. Mayweather has a long list of names on his resume. Among others are De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Cotto, Hatton, Marquez, Mosley, Gotti, and Corrales. However, detractors like Kellerman and Garcia maintain that timing dilutes the brilliance. By 2015, Pacquiao had aged and slowed. After a lengthy layoff, Mosley was 38. Cotto had previously endured severe discipline during his career. At the age of 23, Canelo was also made to wear a catchweight. Even though Floyd prevailed in each of those bouts, the asterisk remains, at least for detractors.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
Conversely, Crawford's list of names isn't as extensive, but the essence of them is distinct. Timing didn't matter to him. When Sean Porter was still a formidable opponent, he battled him. At the age of 35, he destroyed Errol Spence, and he just stunned everyone by defeating Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. Crawford's avoidance of fights wasn't his issue. It was because networks and promoters shunned him. Crawford, a low-reward, high-risk boxer for Top Rank, spent years attempting to land headline bouts that never came to pass. He was far into his 30s by the time he made his breakthrough with Spence.
Already know, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?
He now has uncontested titles in 3 weight classes, is 38 unbeaten at 42-0, and has a list of opponents that includes Gamboa, Postol, Jeff Horn, Porter, Spence, and Alvarez. The numbers, however, favor Floyd above Mayweather's 50. Even though 8 fewer victories might not seem like much, every win matters in the classic game. Nevertheless, Crawford has one advantage over Floyd. He is going up to the 6th weight class. He will have accomplished something Mayweather never tried if he slips to middleweight and wins a title. Floyd came to a halt at 154. Additionally, while making a lot of history there, he never pursued 6 divisions. Perhaps the one thing that changes the topic is Crawford's will to continue taking on increasingly difficult tasks.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
Ooh.
Another intriguing aspect is the timing of their respective eras. In 2014, barely a year before Floyd defeated Pacquiao and later Andre Berto to end his career, Crawford took home his first world belt. Although it was slight, the overlap was present. It might have been feasible to fight if Floyd had stayed. However, Mayweather was already using his legacy to defend rather than to attack by that point. And on Stephen A. Smith's show, Floyd was actually stating it. Now don't ask me. If it was going to occur, it would have done so at the height of interest and when the money was at its largest. The what-ifs have vanished along with that period of time. Floyd does not automatically return to the ring as a result of Crawford's victories today.
Funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah,
there's an OG
somebody
gotta pioneer, right? Yeah, you gotta. There's an OG you can't outfigure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't outfigure.
Fans continue to envision the head-to-head despite this. At 147, Mayweather was a defensive genius who could take down opponents round by round and was practically impossible to strike clean. From 28 to 38, he went 12-0 at welterweight, dominating that class for 10 years. Crawford, a switch hitter with finishing power and a natural mean streak, was more explosive at 147. In just 5 years, he went 8-0 and ruthlessly defeated the majority of those opponents. In terms of posture and fashion, he is longer, taller, and more adaptable.
were you surprised that, Crawford wasn't running from him? He was very confident that he could stand there and trade, a lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. He did what he wanted when he wanted to do.
Few opponents have ever put Floyd's defense to the test like Crawford's stature and tenacity in a legendary bout. Some fans liken it to Floyd's fear of Paul Williams, another tall, high-volume welterweight, which prevented that fight from ever taking place. Add Crawford's versatility and strength as a southpaw. You can see why a lot of people think Floyd might have had to work harder to maintain his zero at last.
Bud so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol historically might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, Crawford might have surpassed TBE.
However, Mayweather's supporters point out that his fighting technique was designed to neutralize aggression. He was more than just quick and agile. He was frugal. He didn't have to use a lot of punches. He had to hit the perfect 25 to cause you to miss the 50. Floyd may have been able to frustrate Crawford, who frequently changes momentum in the middle of a bout, in the same manner as he did Canelo in 2013 or stopped Ricky Hatton's pressure in 2007. The issue of stage control is another. Floyd was the pay-per-view king, and his fights had the power to stop entire weekends. Even after defeating Canelo and Spence, Crawford never turned into that. Floyd had more than simply skill when it came to boxing. It was the power to decide how, when, and where fighting took place. Despite his prowess, Crawford never possessed that. But who do you believe would prevail if this confrontation takes place? For more updates, subscribe and leave a comment below.